work on what has been spoiled. Right angle cross of service 3. People who are part of the ongoing process of correcting and perfecting the archetypes of male, female, father, mother, opinions, and corrections in service to humanity by working to make what is good better. Perfecting the archetypes of male, female, father, mother, opinions, and corrections. What are the what comes with correcting and perfecting the archetype of male, female? We'll start there. Let's slow down real quick. What comes with correcting and perfecting the archetypes of male, female? Of course, the whole transsexual topic comes to mind when we bring up perfecting male, female, or people who presume to say they're perfecting male, female. I don't know what's going on here. What I do know is we're in the quarter of duality. I do know we're in the quarter of duality. And I think I was on a post the other day, and some people were discussing transsexuals. I said, I think they said, it was said to me that there's more than 2 genders. And I don't know what's being said. Welcome back, YouTubians. Welcome back to the Openly Occultic Book Club. We're reading the definitive book of Human Design, The Science of Differentiation, written by Lynda Bunnell and authorized by Ra Uru Hu, the founder of the Human Design System. He has since passed away, but this book was written while he was alive, and he authorized everything being said in here. So, thank you for joining me today. Make sure to share the video, and let's go ahead and jump back into it, because we're in section 8 of this book. We're dealing with the incarnation crosses, and we're actually on the 3rd quarter. There's 4 quarters. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Thanks for joining me. All right, here we are. We're on the quarter of duality. We're in section 8 of the book, and as a reminder, the incarnation crosses are divided into 4 sections. You have the initiation section, the civilization section, and that was what we talked about in our last video. And today we're going to jump into the duality section. So all the incarnation crosses dealing with duality, that's what we're going to be talking about today. I managed to grab or pull up my mandala chart, and yeah, there it is. There's my mandala chart. So here we are at the quarter of duality. The theme for this quarter being purpose fulfilled through bonding. We were musing over the alchemy involved and just focused on the different way the energy is manifesting, right, in each quarter of these incarnation crosses. So the initializing or initiating energy, that theme was purpose fulfilled through mind, right? And that's because everything that manifests on our plane has to first begin with a thought in so many ways, or um, at the very least, something is going on unseen to the physical eye before it pops into reality on a physical in a physical form. So you had the quarter of initializing or initiation, and that is the theme purpose fulfilled through the mind. And these are people who think up these different things, right? And then you had the next quarter, which was what we talked about in our last video, the quarter of civilization. That theme was purpose fulfilled through form. So that's when those thoughts come into form. The people with those incarnation crosses, when they're in their cross, they're dealing with things in different ways to go about manifesting the thoughts that can help society mutate, evolve, transform, and grow, right? So now we're jumping into the quarter of duality, and its theme, we're being shown, is purpose fulfilled through bonding. Okay, so to start out with this incarnation cross theme dealing with duality, we have Gate 7, and another name for it is the Army. As always, we have 3 incarnation crosses, and these are different forms of geometry. You have a right angle, a juxtaposition or straight angle, and a left angle incarnation cross. And as always, each of these incarnation crosses is made up of 4 gates, right? It's a cross. It's a plus sign. Okay? So we have the right angle cross of the Sphinx, number 3. And that's because in the last one we had a right angle cross of the Sphinx 2, and in the first incarnation cross quarter, the initiation or initializing energy, they had a right angle cross of the Sphinx 1. So here we are in the quarter of duality, the third quarter, and we have for gate 7 the right angle cross of the Sphinx 3. And the people with this incarnation cross are people of influence, equipped to lead, whose sound logic and attention to the past play a key role in directing humanity towards a secure future. So they have sound logic and they pay attention to the past and see how it plays a key role in everything they're doing. They're equipped to do this. All right, and they're people of influence. The gates that make up their incarnation cross are gates 7, 13, 2, and 1. We also have the juxtaposition cross of interaction. Remember, this is gate 7, the army. Okay, juxtaposition cross of interaction. These are people who are always looking for ways to live out their leadership role, to be of influence without being influenced, leading by accepting diversity. Yep. Gates 7, 13, 23, and 43 make up this incarnation cross. You know, I noticed that when it comes to these incarnation crosses, the juxtaposition and the left angle typically have the same gates. You guys notice that? This juxtaposition cross of interaction has gates 7, 13, 23, and 43. And so does the left angle cross of maths 2, which we're about to get into. It also has gates 7, 13, 23, and 43. Interesting. I wonder what the difference would be, or why there's a difference between the right angle and those other two, the juxtaposition or straight, or the left angle. Where's my sacred geometry people? Where's my other people in human design that know a little bit more than me? Can you explain that? The left angle cross of masks 2 are people who are projected upon to provide practical or wise leadership, to be influential change agents, and they do so best from behind a mask or title such as the general or therapist. Okay? hmm They're projected upon to provide practical or wise leadership and be influential change agents. And they do it best from behind a mask or a title. So again, with our mind towards proving these things and looking to statistics, doing our little study, how many therapists or generals have these school counselors? Maybe how many have these this incarnation cross, this left angle cross of mass too? I'd be interested in knowing. Would you be interested in knowing and proving these things? We're gonna prove it right or prove it wrong, right? I want to know because it's very detailed about the energy. This army energy, this gate 7 energy, can go one of three ways. But really, I don't know because it's the same gates in the juxtaposition or straight line and the left angle. Same gates, but it's different geometry. One is a straight line, one's a left angle. And then there's a right angle with the gate 7, right? So, hmm, we'll keep going. Whatever I'm thinking about is it's working behind in my mind. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but um I just noticed it. I noticed it when editing the last video on the quarter of civilization. So now I'm like, hey, look at this. Same gates for the left angles and the juxtaposition. Okay, we have gate 4, youthful folly, the right angle cross of explanation 3. These are people whose job it is to explain revolutionary and principled solutions. Untested individual knowing necessitates clarifying and repeating insights which have been filtered through logic's formulas. Gates 4, 49, 23, and 43. So these are people whose job it is to explain revolutionary and principled solutions. They're interested untested individual knowing necessitates clarifying and repeating insights which have been filtered through logic's formulas, and they're the ones whose job it is to explain that. Like, how do you even make a test or form a study without realizing the need for it? And that comes with untested individual knowing. Okay. Juxtaposition cross of formalization. These are individuals who inspire you with their creative ability to create formulas and see unique patterns that can empower a new direction. Gates 4, 49, 8, and 14. And then you have the left angle cross of revolution 2. These are people who are projected upon to provide the practical reasons and contribute the resources necessary to instigate a revolution or not, right? Either get involved or don't. They're projected upon either way to either do this or that, right? They have the gates 4, 49, 8, and 14 as well. So there you have it. Gates 4. I mean, yeah, the incarnation crosses that contain gate 4. One moment. Okay. I have to give me some water. Um, we have the right angle cross of Contagion 3, which is gate 29, the abysmal. These are people who say yes to new and intimate experiences while looking for fulfillment through commitment, and who are able to enter into an experiential process for the sake of experience itself. Gates 29, 38, and 14. Okay. Cross of Contagion. You also have the juxtaposition cross of commitment. These are people fixed on saying yes to commitment. They're often sources of inspiration, like the saints who served God until their death. So see, now we need to run our study. How many of these nuns, how many of the saints have the juxtaposition cross of commitment? Making a pledge, making a commitment to stick to what they're doing. Activists, you know, preachers. Gates 29, 30, 20, and 34. You also have the left angle cross of industry 2. These people are unaware of their enormous charismatic power, who, with the right commitments, can persevere and shine. That's Gates 29, 30, 20, and 34. We have gate 59, the gate of dispersion, the right angle cross of the sleeping phoenix 3. These are great fertile agents busy making more to ensure the future. The need for intimacy and security and bonding, right? So they're busy because of the need for intimacy and security and bonding. They're fertile agents busy making more to ensure the future, right? Gates 59, 55, 20, and 34. This dispersion energy can also move in a different geometrical pattern, the juxtaposition cross of strategy. These are people who are focused on seeking to turn opportunities into strategies leading to intimacy with others. They have the talent for matchmaking, right? People who are focused on seeking to turn opportunities into strategies leading to intimacy. So how many of our madams? How many of the dating app founders? Come on, how many of the dating show people? How many of these people have the talent for matchmaking? How many of these people in these different industries have this juxtaposition across a strategy? I'm very curious and very interested in running our own statistics, our own studies, and getting the numbers on these things. Because it's something being said here. I can't say yes or no. My logic is telling me this all of it sounds very logical. Or maybe it's my feminine, my divine feminine. It's like, listen. She's saying, listen. So I'm reading it, I'm listening, I'm considering. And I'd be very interested in how we can prove these things as well. Last but not least, you have the left angle cross of spirit, 2. The lessons of sexuality and romance become wise gifts in the lives and experiences of those who are aware and awake. People focused on transforming the relationship between love and loving and sexuality through spirit. Yes, beautiful. Gates 59, 55, 16, and 9. Yeah, I have that infamous Gate 59 6 channel. So just reading that, I can see the kind of energy that comes with it for that Gate 59. It's a bonding energy, whether for platonic or sexual intimacy, regardless. And so it's a bonding thing, a chemistry. Tell us about your experiences, if you guys have any of those. If any of you have those incarnation crosses with that Gate 59 that we just saw. We also have Gate 40, Deliverance. Right angle cross of planning 3. When needed support and the right bargain are in place, these people possess the skills, the gift of logic, and the command of detail to build what's needed for the community. Right angle cross of planning 3. Yeah, They have gates 40, 37, 16, and 9. So the gate 37 is the family. So they care very much about the tribe. I have gate 37. So I'm seeing, the different energies that make up this combination of incarnation crosses. And yeah, you can definitely use a keynote type system to pretty much sum up what energy this person has within them. This potential, because you can see that they are very concerned about the family, the tribe. They have gate 37, you know. So yeah, that's for your right angle cross of planning 3, right? You also have the juxtaposition cross of denial. People whose job it is to stubbornly say no to the bargain until it's just right, and to put the brakes on the collective's runaway progress. Okay, the cross of denial. And it's absolutely necessary. This is a necessary form of energy manifesting within this deliverance realm, if you will. Then you have the left angle cross of migration 2. It has the same gates as those in the juxtaposition cross of denial, but from those same gates, it manifests in a different pattern. This is a left angle pattern, the cross of migration 2. These are people who move or migrate wanting to bring progress, development, and change to the next community or valley. Right? So, there you have it. Gates 40, 37, 35, and 5. Now we have the 3 incarnation crosses, the 3 geometric angles that utilize gate 64 in their energetics, right? It's called before completion. The right angle cross of consciousness 3 are people who inspire and assist others in making sense of their past by testing experience against accepted patterns, thus progressing towards new ways of thinking about and understanding life. So the people with this right angle cross of consciousness 3 have gates 64, 63, 35, and 5. Now remember, the theme for these incarnation crosses is duality, right? The theme is purpose fulfilled through bonding. So all these different ways of bonding are being manifested through energetic patterns along ley lines, right? I mean, it's straight angles, right angles, or left angles. So, and this is how the energy is moving. And we're seeing that we're dealing with the before completion way of bonding through this duality, right? Purpose fulfilled through bonding. So we're dealing with the before completion of bonding. And we already read the right angle cross of consciousness too. These are people who are inspire and assist others in making sense of their past by testing experience against accepted patterns, thus progressing towards new ways of thinking about and understanding life. There's a bonding in that. This is why we're in the quarter of duality, whose theme is purpose fulfilled through bonding. And you're gonna test these people with this right angle cross of consciousness are helping people test the past and what's accepted. Duality, right? And in so many ways, the past against what's accepted to progress towards the future. So the past and the future is the duality. They're helping you test against the patterns so that you can let go of unhealthy bonds and so that you can make way to form the new bonds. And in all this, transformation, mutation, right, all that occurs. So, in the grand scheme of things. So, that's with the right angle cross of consciousness 3. We also have the juxtaposition cross of confusion. These are inspiring historians, founts of information whose remembering is rooted in tribal hierarchies and subject to the ego's interpretation or manipulation. So there could be a duality there, and all ultimately for the bond. This is before completion, or you could even say before the bond, right? In so many ways. So they're inspiring historians full of information, and they have a good memory, a deep memory. Remembering is rooted in tribal hierarchies, though, and so it's subject to the ego's interpretation. They're the ones that could have the duality. It could go either this way or that way. It's subject to their ego interpretation or manipulation. So, however they tell that story, but that's the juxtaposition across the confusion. This is before completion. I would say before the bonding. You got to go through this process. And then it could go either way. It's the duality. And then you have the left angle cross of Dominion 2. These are people whose interpretation of the past can be impactful, using information to assume positions of power or authority. So their interpretation of the past can be impactful. Through that, they can assume positions of power. So there's a bonding going on, the past with the future, because they're getting in position to be in position of power for the future. So there's a duality, though, as well. Because is their reign going to be good or bad? You know what I mean? In so many ways. Are they going to be a oppressive person or a ruler that, sets the people free? Are they going to be hard or soft? You know what I mean? There's a duality there. But it's all about the bonding, getting in that position, using their interpretation of the past to get in that position. That position is going to cement the bonding. That's why it's before completion. It's part of the before completion. I'm just, talking my opinion as we read it. I'm processing it and I'm identifying how this energy works and thinking to myself, logically, is there a use for it? And I don't see why there's not a use for it, you know. So let me know in the comments if you're rocking with me or if I'm doing too much. Say, Phoenicia, you're doing too much. Fee, come on now. We have gate 47, oppression. The right angle cross of rulership 3, people bringing the past forward with grace, who selectively borrow traditions or lessons learned from experience to claim their legitimate right to rule. Gate 47, 22, 45, and 26 make up that incarnation cross. You have the juxtaposition cross of oppression. These are people who use their understanding of the past to articulate or promote a new idea or concept or replace a present understanding. So we can see the duality, the past and the future. We see how they're intricate in that because they're going to use their understanding of the past to articulate or promote a new idea or concept or replace a present understanding. Okay? It's under oppression. So what are we getting from that? We're still in the quarter of duality. The theme is still purpose fulfilled through bonding. We see duality. We see bonding. And we're talking about gate 47 and all the different ways that it's called oppression. That's the theme. All the 3 different geometric ways that it could only flow, right? Because we know that the universe is sacred geometry. It could be a right angle, a juxtaposition, or a left angle. The left angle one is the left angle cross of informing 2. These are people with social skills who use the past to inspire, to turn people's attention towards the plight of those who are oppressed. This is informing as an art. Yes. Hey, let us know in the comments if you have the left angle cross of informing 2. Those people have social skills who use the past to inspire, and they oftentimes turn people's attention towards the plight of those who are oppressed. And the way they go about it is as an art. It's informing as an art. Gates 47, 22, 12, 11. I wonder how many of our documentary directors, how many of our, just Hollywood in general, I guess, in so many ways, the writers of these dramas and, yeah, the plight of those who are oppressed. I wonder how many of them have this left angle cross of informing too. What are you guys up to out there? Those people with these incarnation crosses, all of them that we've read so far, what are you guys doing in your life or in your world? Is it being called out? Is it being said or stated in so many ways in your incarnation cross? If so, we want to run these numbers. We want to know how many people out of, all the people that have these crosses actually, you know, this is actually happening in your life versus those who have the cross and they're not at all in those positions. So we want to know. We want to run a study on this. You also have gate 6. Wow. Okay. So because I have gate 6 and I have gate 59. Both of these gates are in the quarter of duality, whose theme is purpose fulfilled through bonding. Okay. Okay. None of my incarnation crosses. My incarnation cross is the right angle cross of the vessel of love too. That is in the civilization purpose fulfilled through form quarter. But it's interesting to know that I do have these gates, and these gates are found um, in the quarter of duality incarnation crosses. So gate 6 is conflict. When I first read about this gate 6 and saw that I had it, I was like, yeah, that's me. And I was like, dang, that's my life. That conflict. But then also over time, I came to appreciate it for what it is. Let me know if you have gate 6. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. The conflict and then the learning to appreciate the need for it, the bonding and breaking apart, and if something can survive that conflict, it's worth bonding back together again. And if it can't, then it's not worth it, actually. So it's like the universe or you yourself are helping yourself out in so many ways and picking who's right to be intimate with or even a friend with. You're intimate with your friends. So just who's right to be in your energy, in your energetics, in your inner circle, because they got to go through this gate 6 conflict energy. And it's like, hey, I don't know. Am I right? Is that what it's about? What's your perception on gate 6? Let's talk about it. But as we see, it's called conflict. And that energy is going to manifest in 3 different geometric ways, although the gates are the same for 2 of those geometries. You have the right angle cross of Eden, 3. These are people who use their experience with conflict and crises to hold the bond of intimacy together, gaining experience through the loss of innocence. People who use their experience with conflict and crises to hold the bond of intimacy to, is that trauma bonding? What's going on here? Does this sound like trauma bonding? People who use their experience with conflict and crises to hold the bond of intimacy together, gaining experience through the loss of innocence. Gates 6, 36, 12, 11. I could be wrong. My first thought was trauma bonding, but there could be more to it than what society says, which first comes to your mind when you hear of trauma bonding, right? We are in the quarter of duality. So there could be a trauma bonding the right way and a trauma bonding the wrong way, right? Come on. Come on. We're in duality here. So it sounds exactly what it says. We're talking about trauma bonding, but it's not necessarily talking about the negative connotations that instantly come to our mind because all the new age spiritualists and everybody's out there waking up and they're like, "Hey, there's trauma bonding going on. Say no." And it's like, "Hey, it could be done in a good way." We're in the quarter of duality. We're in we're dealing with conflict, the different ways a person who has experienced conflict deals with it. People who use their experience with conflict and crises to hold the bond of intimacy together, gaining experience through the loss of innocence. Yes, I can see the need for that. You also have the juxtaposition cross of conflict. These are people who bridge the loss of innocence with a getting on with life attitude and create a fertile environment for companionship, friendships and love emerging from crises. hmm So the way they deal with conflict is they're like, hey, let's get on with it, let it go and let God. Get on with life attitude. It happens, we're past it, and keep it moving. But also friendships and love emerging from crises. Because that attitude that they got going on, it creates a fertile environment for companionship. These are people who bridge the loss of innocence. hmm Wow. And then you also have the left angle cross of the plane too. People here to enjoy their work while enticing us deeply into the material plane so that we'll always have what we need to love living in the social material world. Okay? They have gates 36, 6, 36, 15, and 10 as well. We're moving on to gate 46, pushing upward. Here you have the right angle cross of the vessel of love 3. These are people fully embodied or fully alive in their body who enjoy the physical and sensual dynamic of relationships. They're dedicated to living life for life's sake, right? These people have gates 46, 25, 15, and 10. You also have the juxtaposition cross of serendipity. These are people focused on being in the right place at the right time who understand that correct commitments to experience plus hard work lead to good fortune and success. They fully enjoy being alive. They're about fully enjoying being alive. They have gates 46, 25, 52, and 58 in their incarnation cross. And you also have the left angle cross of healing too. These are people who spontaneously heal or can be healed through contact with forces of impersonal, universal love. A rare and joyous gift that comes alive through a focused, committed connection with the other. Wow. So these people can spontaneously heal or can be healed through contact with forces of impersonal, universal love. So they can point out to you forces of impersonal, universal love because they themselves are being healed from these things. Yes. Let us know in the comment section right now. Drop everything. Pause. Drop everything. Let us know in the comment section if you have the left angle cross of healing too. And we'll go from there. Just let us know first. And then I'll address you. I'll ask some questions. Because we want to know if you've been healed. And we want to know who, what, when, where, why. We want to know the force of this force of impersonal universal love that you ran into contact with that healed you. We want to know so we can be aware of sources of impersonal universal love. Yes, ma'am. We also have gate 18, work on what has been spoiled. That left angle cross of healing again has gate 46, and that gate is talking about pushing upward. It's in the G center. Gate 46, if I'm right, I believe gate 46 is in the G center. This is the love center, the magnetic monopole. These people are being pulled in that direction. This is a person who's been pulled into being in contact with a force of impersonal universal love. They can heal from that spontaneously, and they can point out these sources. And it's all to help us, right? Because we're talking about wholeness and balance. If they just communicate, if they just tell us, point out these forces that they ran into that healed them, then we too can go to that source, and it's for the healing of all of us. They just can spot it out quicker because it helps, it heals them. Yep. And we can all push upward. Yes. Just communicate with us. Let us know if that's you. Let's talk. We have gate 18, work on what has been spoiled. Right angle cross of service 3. People who are part of the ongoing process of correcting and perfecting the archetypes of male, female, father, mother, opinions, and corrections in service to humanity by working to make what is good better. Perfecting the archetypes of male, female, father, mother, opinions, and corrections. What are the what comes with correcting and perfecting the archetype of male female? We'll start there. Let's slow down real quick. What comes with correcting and perfecting the archetypes of male female? Of course, the whole transsexual topic comes to mind when we bring up perfecting male female, or people who presume to say they're perfecting male female. I don't know what's going on here. What I do know is we're in the quarter of duality. I do know we're in the quarter of duality. And I think I was on a post the other day, and some people were discussing transsexuals. I said, I think they said, it was said to me that there's more than two genders, and I don't know what's being said. So, does that go with this whole writing across the surface 3, people who are part of the ongoing process of correcting, perfecting the archetypes of male, female, or is that the extreme end of a duality? And on the other side, it will be not transsexual talk, but male and females getting better at being male and females, not a gender change. Somebody saying they changed their gender and they're a better female now or whatever. I don't know what we're talking about here. So I'm just asking. And I'm open to your thoughts. Leave a comment. If you're mad at me, leave a comment. Tell me why you're mad. What are we mad about? So, and again, the archetypes, correcting or perfecting archetypes of father, mother. What is that? What are we talking about? And we're in duality, so it's probably two answers. It might be two answers. I might be given two answers. One that's the wrong answer, or like maybe a complete extreme that's going off, and another one that's going upward, right? Work on what has been spoiled. Yeah. So something's been spoiled, and work needs to be done. So what correcting and perfecting of male, female, father, mother needs to go on here? Let's talk about it. Leave a comment in the comment section, and we'll leave that where it's at. We also have the juxtaposition cross of correction. These are masters at recognizing flaws in the pattern or incompetence in everything except themselves. Masters at recognizing flaws in the pattern or incompetence in everything except themselves, and the ability to turn country girls into princesses? Gates 18, 17, 39, and 38 make up that cross. We also have the left angle cross of upheaval, too. These are people with a not hierarchical, a heretical view, or a beguiling innocence, always ready to provoke, to disturb, or to challenge what isn't working. Therapists who know that therapy has to be practical work, or has to be practical to work. Gates 18, 17, 39, and 38 make up that incarnation cross. We also have Gate 48, the well. This is made up of 3 incarnation crosses. Again, just as a reminder, I'm going to keep saying it so that we get it. And each of them has 4 gates, as we see, because it makes a cross. Gate 48, the well, it has right angle cross of tension 3. These are people with innate depth who bring understanding to problems and provoke the proper skills or spirit or purpose needed to provide a workable solution. Gates 48, 21, 39, and 38 make up that cross. You also have the juxtaposition cross of death. These are people of influence who use their depth to further their ambitions and to increase their circle of friends and their opportunities to impact, teach, or help others transform their inadequacies and begin something new. Right? So, people of influence who use their depth to further their ambitions and to increase their circle of friends and their opportunities to impact, teach, or help others transform their inadequacies and begin something new. Juxtaposition cross of death. That's gates 48, 21, 53, and 54. And last but not least, in these incarnation crosses with gate 48 is the left angle cross of endeavor, 2. These are people with a driving desire to be in control so they can do something with their depth. This is the I'll do it myself attitude of self-publishers. So, how many self-publishers have this left angle cross of endeavor too? Since they said that's the attitude of these people, so are these people in these situations? Are they self-publishers? Gates 48, 21, 53, 54. I guess we're in a new age now, right? We're not just talking about self-publisher book writers and their autobiographies and this, that, and the third. You know, people, content creators, they're publishing videos. They're publishing TikToks. How many of these people have the left angle cross of endeavor too? People with a driving desire to be in control so that they can do something with their depth. We have gate 57, the gentle. Right angle cross of penetration 3, highly intuitively aware people, capable of discerning penetration. A clarity that guides ambition with a competitive edge towards beginning something new in order to assuage our fears for tomorrow. They have gates 57, 51, 53, and 54. So they're highly intuitive people. You also have the juxtaposition cross of intuition. Deeply profound and inspiring people. They break you open with their intuition, detail, knowing, and shock you so that you can receive the message. Wow. Gates 57, 51, 62, and 61. And you have the left angle cross of the clarion, too. These are also intuitive people. All 3 of them are. They're expected to carry essential and inspired information, which others need or want to hear, who need to be sought out and pressured to speak. Okay, they're waiting on an invitation. It's probably a projection type energy, so you need to come ask them. They need to kind of wait for an invitation. I know that I think gate 57 is in the spleen. They have a lot of intuition that comes with that. It's for their own safety, right? It's the most instinctive awareness center that we have. Even animals, it's that survival of the fittest center. So they have different gates dealing with intuition and, just being aware, being able to sniff out danger before it occurs. These are intuitive people expected to carry essential and inspired information which others need or want to hear, who need to be sought out and pressured to speak. Gates 57, 51, 62, and 61. We also have gate 32, duration. Speaking of cosmic human design, remember I brought up cosmic human design, and it's a YouTube channel, and it's reading out of the I-ching book of changes. The I-ching book of changes. So in the I-ching, gates in human design are akin to the hexagrams in the I-ching. In fact, I said I pulled up my mandala. This is what a mandala looks like. And on the outside of the ring, it has the I-ching symbol. We can next, on the next line, see the gate that is the same as that I-ching symbol. And then we have the degrees, as we said, at C as well. And then it goes on showing your astrology sign that those gates are in, the astrological sign. And all this is pointing to the different gates that you also have defined on your body graph chart, right? And we see the astrological symbols, either red or black, because these symbols are on both your design side and your personality side. So all this information is being shown right here on your mandala. Have fun with that, right? Because it's like a treasure map. Once you can get used to the symbols and you start learning what it means, you're like, yes, yes, you can sum it up just by looking at it. You can kind of see what kind of energy a person is dealing with. And also, we know the incarnation cross is going to be a cross. So 25, gate 25, gate 6, I think. Up, down, left, and right is going to make a cross. Or, as we can see here, the gates that make up. I think you would have to be a bit more knowledgeable to be able to look at this and see what the incarnation cross is. But it's possible. It is possible. As I said, I am the right angle cross of the vessel of love too. So, for those who can look at a mandala and tell what a person's incarnation cross is, leave in the comments. How did you see that so fast? How did you know that before I said it? And the reason I brought it up, though, is because I've said Cosmic Human Design, Gate 32. When I was on the Cosmic Human Design channel, I found the Gate 32 hexagram information to be pretty informative. I'm going to leave that to you to go look it up. But, I found Gate 32 duration as a hexagram in that I-ching book of changes that they're reading out of on the Cosmic Human Design channel, YouTube channel. I found that to be really, really interesting. Let me know if you've checked it out. If you do check it out, let us know in the comments your thoughts on Gate 32 in Cosmic Human Design. For now, we see that Gate 32 is coming in 3 forms. It comes in the right angle cross of the Maya 3, people whose inner knowing and use of detail guide their ability to properly evaluate and inspire material development, maturation, and expansion, right? Inner knowing and use of detail. Gates 32, 42, 62, and 61 make up that incarnation cross. You have the juxtaposition cross of conservation. These are wary risk takers, guided by the value of continuity or duration, who conserve our resources to ensure survival of future generations. a necessary job. They got to have the foresight. They got to want to care. Gates 32, 42, 56, and 60 make up people with that incarnation cross. They'll just be in the incarnation cross at some point. When they reach that level of consciousness, they'll look around and they'll be like, wow, I am in my incarnation cross. You also have the left angle cross of limitation 2. These are people who see impermanence as a limitation, as a pressure, such as on business or industry, to value products based on their practicality and their ability to withstand the test of time. Right? What's the limit? So these people have gates 32, 42, 56, and 60 as well. We have gate 50, the cauldron, the right angle cross of laws 3, people who create, adapt, or evaluate laws and values to accommodate our species' evolution. Lawmaking as a creative inner process based in humanity's instincts to survive mutation and change. I wish they'd evaluate these laws like a little bit better, starting right now. We're seeing a lot of career criminals being let out of jail and prisons. We're seeing a lot of dangerous people being recycled back into society, and more care is being given to those people versus the innocent civilians out here staying out the way and not getting into trouble. So these laws need to be evaluated. Maybe a lot of judges need to be fired. I don't know. These are just my opinions and thoughts on the matter. But I'm rooting for the laws to be changed. I'll just say that. I'm rooting for them to be evaluated and changed. I'm sure there's a lot of fraud going on in the midst of that. Because don't they aren't our statistics, the numbers of violent crimes, isn't that how they get federal money? Isn't that how federal money is released to different counties and states and stuff like that based on how much violent crime is being committed? How much crime is being committed? So they're letting out the criminals so they could keep getting the federal money? Is that what's going on? Is there a fraud? Are they protecting and serving, or are they not protecting and serving so that they could get money? What's happening? I think evaluation needs to go on, and I'm rooting for all of that to take place because it's creating a horrendous environment. And for these right angle cross of laws 3 incarnation people, it says that these are it's about lawmaking as a creative inner process. So I need them to meditate and think about this stuff internally. What are we doing? And is it a means for them to get money? Is fraud being committed? Are they going against the protect and serve aspect of the laws and all that? Or what's going on? Why are the violent offenders being released? Why are the criminals being released? And so I need the lawmaking as a creative inner process based in humanity's instincts to survive mutation and change. Can we survive living like this? Humanity is trying to survive. So what are we doing when we're letting out the known criminals with the long rap sheets, career criminals, so that we can pad our crime statistics and hopefully release federal money so we can, and then what are they spending the money on? You could find the fraud in it if that's what's going on here. I need somebody to get on that. You also have the juxtaposition cross of values, people of influence who seize the opportunity to soften or lessen the severity of the law, thus ensuring that the consequences are commensurate with the crime. Okay, so I mean, still, what I said still applies. I don't care. I don't care. What I said still applies. Because we're talking about career criminals constantly being let out. with long rap sheets. So if you're living like that, I think all that shit should be added up, and now it's time for you to go ahead and go to prison. That's what you want. That's why you keep doing it. So yeah, the consequence needs to fit the crime, indeed. But these are criminals that are constantly committing crime. It's time for them to be locked up, don't you think? It's time for them to be sat down. Is it me? Am I tripping? Let me know in the comments if I'm completely wrong. You're dead wrong, Fee, and here's why. Let me know. But then also, if you agree with what I'm talking about and you're tired of career criminals just being left out here to prey on civilians who aren't out here causing problems like that, let me know in the comments about that as well. Let's talk about it. Because what the hell is going on in our America? In our America. Come on. The left angle cross of wishes 2. People with a utopian orientation that transcends traditional values, who challenge both cultural and religious standards by projecting what the system might be. You would think I have that because of what I just all said, but no, I don't have that. I have the right angle cross of the vessel of love too. I'm genuinely interested in the welfare of humanity. That's what it says about my incarnation cross. I'm naturally worried about the wellness of humanity. So, and I'm here to bring, cosmic laws into universalize the cosmic laws. So, anyway, but here's the left angle cross of wishes too. These are people with a utopian orientation that transcends traditional values, who challenge both cultural and religious standards by projecting what the system might could be. It could be a utopia if y'all would just do this and do that, yeah. But I'm like, you know what? I don't know. That's great. That's not my incarnation cross. I'm simply worried about the wellness of humanity, and I don't see the sense in continuously letting out career criminals unless you're getting money out of it. Period. And people need to be fired. That's not how we're supposed to be living out here. Y'all call yourselves the lawmakers and here to protect and serve. That's y'all. So then I'm going to expect you to protect and serve, and I don't see how you're protecting anybody by continuously letting out career criminals just so y'all could get money. We're losing lives out here. The kids is losing lives and being traumatized out here. It's murder, murder, death, kill. What is we doing out here? Please stop. I need you to look at yourself and stop it. God damn. Gate 28, preponderance of the great. The right angle cross of the unexpected 3, people who unexpectedly have to care for or take responsibility for something or someone. They become an influential example when they find meaning in the struggle. Preponderance of the great, right? Gates 28, 27, 31, and 41. This made me think of BAPS just now. This is so funny. I literally just thought of BAPS. People who unexpectedly have to care for or take responsibility for something or someone. They become an influential example when they find meaning in the struggle, right? Then girls was like, we don't want the check. We don't want the money at all. She ripped the check up. Remember BAPS? Come on. Holly Berries? Come on. And then not just that, but we're still in the quarter of duality. It could have went either way. They could have just went ahead and like, yeah, give us the money and just left. Instead, they had empathy and sympathy, and it was about preponderance of the great. Yes, I love that movie Babs. Come on, let me know if y'all seen that movie Babs. Okay, juxtaposition cross of risks. These are risk takers who push the envelope either to get what they need or to find purpose and meaning in life. So there's duality, there's the bonding, right? Okay, gates 28, 27, 33, and 19. And then you have the left angle cross of alignment 2. These are reflective people who know how to take advantage of the unexpected and who are able to leave the old behind and align with the new when the opportunity arises. Gates 28, 27, 33, 19. Now, new doesn't necessarily mean better or greater, right? There's duality here. But regardless, They know how to take advantage of the unexpected and are able to leave the old behind and align with the new, whether it's good or better, regardless, they could do it. They could get with something new. And that's all about this quarter of duality. It could be something good or bad, but they could get with it. It's all about the theme of bonding though, right? And all for changing, transformation, mutation, evolution, evolving, right? They have gates 28, 27, 33, and 19. And the last gate in this quarter of duality is gate 44, coming to meet. You have the right angle cross of the four ways 3. These are tribal folks with a keen sense of smell, instinctual and historical memory, and sensitivity to the welfare of others, who ponder the viability of family enterprises. Right angle cross of the four ways 3. They have gates 44, 24, 33, and 19. Excuse me, I need some water. You also have the juxtaposition cross of alertness. These are seers with an instinctual sense of alertness who are in tune with where we have been and where we are headed. It's often best to pay attention to them. Explanation point? What? We need to pay attention to the juxtaposition cross of alertness. These are seers with an instinctual sense of alertness who are in tune with where we've been and where we're headed. It's often best to pay attention to them, they said. Exclamation point. They have gates 44, 24, 7, and 13. So you know what I'm going to say. If you have that incarnation cross, we need you front, line, and center. If this is you, we need you to come to the front, jump in the comments, let us know what we need to know. It says we need to pay attention to you. You have you're a seer with an instinctual sense of alertness who's in tune with where we've been and where we're headed. Well, where are we headed? Unless we change. And what do we need to do to change? We're ready to pay attention to what you got to say. So we need you to jump in the comments as soon as possible and let us know what you have to say. We're listening. I'm listening. And we have the left angle cross of Incarnation 2. These are people who keep the past alive by revisiting it and connecting all of us to it. They're endlessly pondering what it means to incarnate and what is needed to survive. Yeah. Gates 44, 24, 7, and 13. Interesting. Well, that's the end of the quarter of duality. When we come back, we'll dive into the quarter of mutation. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We want to get the word out about human design. And we're having a good time. I'm loving this information. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to see you guys next time. We'll go ahead and wrap up section 8. We're almost done with the book. We have a poll going on what the theme should be for the next book. Should we read a book on tarot? Everything we're going to read is always going to be about energy work in this Openly Occultic Book Club. It's occultic, but at the end of the day, we're going to be fighting about energy. I can tell you that. So we could read about tarot next time. We could read a magic book when we get done with this human design book. We could read about the Kabbalah, right? We could read about candle magic. I mean, you guys give me the theme. Go ahead and jump on the poll. I'll reshare the poll again when I upload this video. Go ahead and let us know what theme do you want us to tackle. I have thousands of books. So I'll pick the book. You pick the general theme, and we'll just continue to rotate. That's how we'll run this book club. We'll just continue to rotate the themes and read our books, right? Thank you so much for being here, especially to my day ones. Those who started watching from the beginning and you're still listening, thank you so much. I appreciate you very, very much for joining me. as we read the definitive book of human design. And I hope you guys are enjoying conducting your experiment. All right. You guys have a great time. Have a great weekend. Wholeness and balance.